There we are. Okay. Hello. I don't feel awesome today. So I am just gonna be doing job quests. Also, I recently found out that the glamour dresser has a collision box. It's very narrow, but hang on, let me get out. I think I might already actually be as... No? Damn, okay. I think this might be... Yeah. I think I might have been the furthest out on the top of the collision box. But yeah, look at my new ninja glam. I think I talked about wanting to do an Assassin's Creed glam. The hood options kinda suck. So I'm just putting that on hold. Instead, we're... oh yeah, I got an outfit for Gaga. No longer in the default, the default barding. So... look at... We'll get this started. I'll do that at another date, though. I assume that unlocks treasure hunting. Which is actually what my free company does a lot together, so... Oh, bro, my dude, my man. Oh, alas and alack. Whatever am I to do? Oh, Yuna, as a shinobi, I am loath to admit this, but I did not see you come in. Truth be told, I have been somewhat distracted of late. Princess Yuki, it would seem, sent a letter to my village praising us for our efforts on her behalf, thus revealing my story of an injury preventing me from making the journey home for the bruise that it was. But my shame is not that I have been summoned back to the village, but rather quite the opposite. Despite knowing that I am hale and hearty, my elders seem to be in no particular hurry to welcome me back into the fold. Should the time come when we have need for you in Doma, we shall summon for you. Until then, you are to remain at your post and do all in your power to aid our countrymen in Eorzea. Such were their words. Is this how far I have fallen? Am I as a falcon bereft of its claws? A dull blade tossed to the wayside by its master? For all I know, I have been all but exiled to this place. I am sorry, Yuna. Heavens know that you did not come here to listen to my griping. On a brighter note, I just received word from Captain Jack. It would seem some Easterners are causing something of a stir. I suppose I should be grateful that someone still has need of my services. Anyhow, it would seem that Kami have led you here at a most opportune time. Would you care to accompany me? Yeah. I thank you, my friend. Let us make for Limsa Lominsa and see what our friends at the Rogues Guild would ask of us. I got something from an FC member. Application. What? Da, da, da. Oh, no, wait, that's a new FC member. They joined the Discord, and then I think they logged on to formally submit an application, which low-key is how I joined, so... Oh, Lord. Well, if it ain't the dimberest damber of 'em all. Trust you've been keeping your stabbins sharpened. What with you and Ober on the job, I reckon I'll be Bob afore the lightmans come around. Here's where we stand. One of me little birds in the Kraken's arms came chirping to me a story about some domans who I reckon are breaking one code or another. Seems they, the Krakens that is, were out snilching the eastern seas when they grabbed a vessel flying Galilean colours, as they're wont to do. But then came the rub. The crew claimed to be Delman, you see, and upon whittling the captain's identity, changed tack, begging for asylum on our Eorzean shores and offering the entirety of the cargo in full in return for safe passage. Call him been a cove or a fool. The Kraken captain took the self-styled Domans up in their offer, stowing the Eastern treasures and the Easterners themselves away in the hold. They set sail for Limsa. But after pulling into port, a funny thing happened. No sooner had the Krakens dropped anchor than the refugees, Put on the best beta cases and skulked off into the dead documents, leaving all the treasures behind. All the treasures, save one. A scroll of sorts that's been hiding in a corner, all inconspicuous-like. Haviland reckons that these Doman refugees have played us for some rum fun, and they're off selling the scroll on the black markets for good blunt, even as we speak. They're selling shit for they're pawning shit off for weed money. I see. So you would have us recover the scroll in question and bring the thieving Domans to justice. I am honored to lend what aid I can, and yet I cannot help but wonder. Just what could it be about this scroll to make it so valuable to my countrymen? Well, we're not going to whittle the scrap just sitting around here on our doddles, now are we? Let's snilch town and see what the common coves and morts have and haven't seen. Una, why don't you go pay the tall one a visit at the winch? If there's any rumors going around about any shifty Easterners, like it's not that Mort would know. You don't remember what to order, I? Horse dimber-damber like yourself would. Look, good luck out there, and keep your waddles on. We'll be waiting for you in Bulwark Hall when you're through. Oh, there's a garnet minion. Oh, that's adorable. I knew about some of the minions from previous games, but I don't know, I didn't know Garnet had one. Don't see why not, because they recently added her outfit. Welcome to the Drowning Witch. What's the pleasure, miss? I genuinely don't remember what to tell her. Ah, you must be here on business. Perhaps I could offer you something from our underground menu. Now, what's your fancy? Guest from the east, you say? Why, yes, I do believe we had some visitors not long ago matching that description. They left shortly before you arrived. I make a habit of pricking my ears up to catch our patrons' every whisper, but the party in question required little such effort. Why, they were shouting tales of riches and glory in a roar that could wake the dead. Said they were on their way to Wineport to make the transaction of a lifetime. Though they weren't keen on going into detail. Just between us, I wouldn't be surprised if there was something less than savory about their business. Speaking of savory, can I interest you in our seafood stew? That does actually sound pretty good. So our lads are headed to Wineport then, eh? Been work, Una. Remind me to slip Itol one some extra blunt next time we stop by the wench for libations. The weed joke is too obvious. I've already made it. That said, something doesn't sit right with me. Cackling their plans for every drunkard and tavern wench to hear. I reckon our friends might be looking to amuse us, if you whittle my gist. Keep your eyes open and your stabbers sharp, mates. Well, there's a bleeding surprise. Code-breaking curs have already bit the blow and hopped the twig, with the caravan's worth of bingo in tow. Word is they were last seen beating a path of Bloodshore. What could they mean to... Oh, wait a bleeding moment. What if the grog's not meant for selling? For keeping their throats wet on a long voyage? I reckon our lads are trying to smuggle the scroll home. There's no time to lose. Let's brush off our beater cases and make for Bloodshore, all quick like. Oberon and I will snitch to the north side. Una, you take the south. You have to catch these curs before they slip from our daddles for good. Oh, no, that's not the mount I wanted. I wanted... Fenrir. I was gonna try to see how far I can make it without flying. Oh. Damn. Goddamn crabs are everywhere today. You just had to poke your nose in our business, eh? Guess you'll leave us no choice. me guess. Came upon a couple of rough-looking coves. These coves came waving their stabbers in my face afore I could edge in a word. I reckon 'twas the same for you. The scroll is nowhere to be seen. Oh, scroll is nowhere to be seen, nor is anything resembling a ship. If I did not know better, I would say they were a simple group of ruffians enjoying their ill-gotten grog. Dim one sees, but does he truly see? No, these unfortunate men were but pawns in a grand scheme, as disposable as the bottles that now litter the shore. Meanwhile, your true quarry has boarded a trader and sails for Kugane even as we speak, under the auspices of the East Eldenor Trading Company, no less. So cunning a scheme, I wish I'd thought of it myself. Or did I? How do you know all? Ugh, me that you're the cove from the House of Sticks. Karasu Redbeak. Childhood friends turned bitter enemies, then friends once more, reunited after far too long. Our hero returns, and the audience swoons. Oh, what a joyous day. Or is it? I'd say this much, Dim One. For once, you've managed to surprise me. To think that the oh-so-serious Oboro would lie to his elders to avoid having to make the journey home, only to find he wasn't welcome to begin with. Oh, the irony of it all. Enough of your preening and prattling, Karasu. I want answers. How did you know we were here? Just what is your connection to the thieves we pursue? You mean the thieves who already eluded your clumsy grasp, just as I am about to do? I fear that is a story for another day. Bah, ever the slippery bird, that one. That daft rook's an acquaintance of yours? It's news to Jack's bottles. Meanwhile, we've got our work cut out for us if we still want to grapple that scroll. Is there anywhere we can have a few words? You know, secret-like? Say no more, Captain Jack. As luck would have it, our base of operations is but a short walk from these parts. Una, rejoin us at the storehouse. Okay. Karasu Redbeak. Of all the places I thought our search might lead us, never in my wildest dreams did I think it would lead us to him. I'm square with me, Oboro. Just who is this Karasu Cove? Can we trust him? Or is he like us not to stick us his stabbers in our back the moment we turn a blind eye? No, I mean, yes, mean, he's neither. Or both? Perhaps I should say it's complicated. Imagining Obro updating his fucking Facebook relationship status as it's complicated. Judging from your reaction, it sure seems as much. Anyway, if our men have set sail for Hingashi, I reckon we've no choice but to do the same. Wasn't exactly preparing for a long voyage, but damned if I'll leave this job half done. Said, shamed as I am to admit it, it's old Jack's first journey to the Far East. I wouldn't know Kugane from a rum doxy's arse. And I don't know a rogue what can do his work without knowing the lay of the land. Worry not, Captain Jack. I have traveled there on many an occasion to procure the tools of my trade from the finest Hingan artisans. It would be my pleasure to serve as your guide. Your presence would be most heartening as well, Yuna. Kugane is a city where anything can happen, and there's no telling what danger awaits us there. I'll agree with that. But mind you, Yuna's a right busy mole. Let's say we do it this way. Obro and I will go on ahead, and we'll send for you once we've snilched out the place and worked out our next plan of action. A reasonable plan, Captain Jack. In that case, Yuna, pray check in at the storehouse from time to time. I'll send word to Yomei when we require your services. In the meantime, may the Kami guide you in your training. Level 63. Okay. I wondered the exact increments. So not only am I not leveled, I also don't have Noma unlocked, so... On to Samurai. It is definitely... Oh, wow. It's very... not quite as busy as Limsa. Oh, look at that sword. Holy shit. That's sick. Momo. Oh, I almost forgot to mention. A woman had come calling on Musosai at the inn. Judging by her appearance, she is a compatriot and a samurai. At the time, I couldn't bring myself to break the news to her. But in hindsight, perhaps it's best that it came from you anyway, seeing as you were Musosai's pupil. The visitor is in front of the quicksand. You'll recognize her by her dignified air. was going to... Well, okay, I will anyway. Someone was talking about the Novice Network chat being empty and quiet, so I was like, I'm busy, dude. You appear to be a samurai, yet you are not of our land. May I ask who addresses me? Well, that you should be Master Musosai's pupil. Tell me, where might I find him? Ugh. Is that the way of it? Words cannot well express my sorrow. I had the honor of being acquainted with your master in the past. Permit me to introduce myself. I am Makoto of the Seki Seigumi. Ours is a peacekeeping force of Kugane, a port city in Hingashi. I journeyed across the seas hoping to meet with Master Musosai, but it seems I must settle for paying my respects. Might I trouble you to show me to his resting place? The Silver Bazaar, you call it? I am in your debt. Let us away then. Someone did a funny typo. That's it. Yeah. Wanted to make sure I was addressing the right person. Because they were talking about editing their adventure plate. I gotta see. They're talking about another adventure plate. Wow, that is a lot of pink. It is adorable though. Could use more pink in jail. Uh-oh. Makoto. There's no mistaking your blade work. Indeed, Master Musosai trained you. Forgive me for standing idle as you fought, but I had to make certain that you spoke the truth. Master Musosai seldom took on pupils, you see. But any doubt has been utterly dispelled. Oh, I'm sorry, but any doubt I may have harbored has been utterly dispelled. Now then, let us continue on. And welcome, thank you. I just noticed you pop in. Yeah, just chill, doing a sap mount. That's cute. That's a cute mount. Anyway, motorcycle. Uh, yeah, you can check if you don't mind. A beautiful ocean view. You will surely be at peace here. As you may know, Master Musosai had one other pupil before you. Ugetsu is his name, and he is wanted in Hingashi for the murder of countless dignitaries in the Bakufu, our nation's government. Though his weren't the hands that wielded the blade, Master Musosai created the killer, and in the eyes of the law, he was deemed no less responsible. As a samurai, he was expected to commit seppuku in order to atone for the crime, but he refused. As a result, he was branded a craven in Hingashi. But naught could be further from the truth. Master Musosai fled, not because he feared death. This I knew in my heart. And beholding your blade work, I know now what it is that he sought to do. He wished to make amends by training a new pupil. Such was the shame he felt. Death was not sufficient atonement. Nay, the only way he might know peace was to begin anew, with a worthy successor who would bring him honor. After a level 90 story quest. Gotcha. Okay, so not for a while. Know that Ugetsu is no common killer. He is a notorious insurgent who seeks to tear down the status quo. No few samurai sympathize with his cause, and every day more rally to his banner. For a time he remained in hiding. but our operatives report that he has recently resurfaced in Kugane. By all indications, he is poised to strike a heavy blow against the Bakufu. I can check the market board. I'm kind of broke after glamour spending, but what's it called? 'Twas for no other purpose but to petition Master Musosai's aid that I am journeyed here. Alas, it was not to be. As I came, so too must I return. Alone. God, you came alone? That sounds like a pathetic Friday night. My thanks for showing me here. Brief though it was, 'twas an honor to meet you. Yeah, I'll just... I'll check the market board when I get into town, because... Took her to see Musosai. Doubtless he was happy to have a visitor, and one from his homeland besides. So the wayward pupil is up to no good again. Certainly worrying, but there isn't much outsiders like us can do. We can only hope that Mikoto and her comrades will triumph over this Ugetsu. I'll let you return to your business, but pay me a visit from time to time, you hear? It's lonely without the old man round. I'm assuming this also... yeah, goes... okay. Duh, duh, duh. I'm assuming it goes under registrable miscellany. I do like the Sabryu. Barding. Okay. Zoohorn. Flying chair, that's fun. Yeah. What's it called? Big shell. Okay. Yeah. Oh well. We tried. Dragoon. Oh, so actually, while you're here, before I do this, I'm temporarily giving up on the Assassin's Creed glamour for Ninja, as the HUD options kinda suck, and the one I want that I think will work best is not available until much later, because it's from the Your HUD raids. So, that's what I'm working with for now. Yeah, no, I'm satisfied with it. I'm just saying the Assassin's Creed glamour wasn't quite working out. Ah, Yuna. Word of Estinian's disappearance from the infirmary has reached mine ears. Whilst part of me is quite capable of sympathizing with his desire to abandon the Holy See, I do wish he had said something ere his departure. But then, I suppose it is only to be expected. With Nidhogg slain, The Horde's ranks have fallen into disarray, and they are not the threat they once were. Ishgard has scant need of an Azure Dragoon. Suffice it to say, one would imagine the role of the Dragoon shall similarly be forced to change as we enter this new era of relative peace. However, whilst you may have saved Estinian from the Great Worm, my mind is yet plagued by Hustian's internal strife. May Halone lend her strength needed to shake free from the Dragonblood's fierce grip. You are looking quite well, Sir Alberic, and Mistress Una. It's a pleasure to see you too. Lord Montergain, Una and I were just speaking of your daughter. That daughter of mine is in fact why I have sought you out. I was recently handed a letter by a merchant that has passed through the Chocobo Forest. If his word is to be believed, he was entrusted with this message by Eustian herself. The letter was a call for help. Mistress Una, she bade you search for her. By the fury, has she been set upon by heretics once more? Alas, there was no more information in her message. Oh, not a day goes by that I do not pray for her safe return. Una, I must ask that you take up your lance once more to aid your fellow dragoon. Are you willing? Thank you, Mistress Una. Eustian awaits you in the Devonian Forelands. Please, help her with whatever she requests. It is, indeed. I have most of the Shiva gear. But I think the Shiva spear is specifically like it just fits. I mean, not wrong. Where am I going? It does, yeah. I guess I'll just fly. Una. Aw. That sucks. So the letter reached my father. I am sorry for having you journey so far just to meet me. As you well know, I cannot return to Ishgard in my current condition. That said, the blood's hold on me is not as firm as it once was. This is largely thanks to a new ally of mine. His help has been invaluable in learning to control the dragon within. In fact, I have a mind to introduce him to you. Orn Kai, Yuna has arrived. It is an honor to meet you, hero of men. Much have I heard of you from my father, who would often talk of the warrior that boasts the strength of a dragon. Mordecai has been a great friend ever since he first came across me suffering from the blood's effects. I very much doubt I would be capable of standing here exchanging words with you were it not for his help. I called you here in order to repay my debt to him. Mordecai, tell Yuna what troubles you. Yes, thank you. Long before I came into this world, in the age when man and dragon were at peace, my father had a consort. But the dragon song war tore them asunder. Father belonged to Hresvelger's brood, as do I. But his consort was part of Nidhogg's. When Nidhogg demanded vengeance for the wrongs committed against him and Ratatoskr, Father asked his consort to fly far to the east. She bore no ill will towards men, and while she wanted nothing more than to stay by Father's side, she accepted his request and fled the conflict. However, your valiant actions have since put an end to the Dragonsong War. I am positive Father's consort will return if we inform her of the war's conclusion. Mordecai requires your aid to search for his father's consort and bring her back home. However, as she left Dravania some 1,000 summers past, locating her shall be far from an easy task. Under normal circumstances, I would help Mordecai myself. But while I am somewhat recovered, I am yet far from being in complete control. This is why I summoned you, Yuna. Your knowledge of the realm is unparalleled. I beg of you, aid Mordecai in his search. You have my sincerest thanks, Yuna. Thank you, Yuna. I owe you a debt of gratitude once more. Regrettably, while we know she is somewhere to the east, we are entirely ignorant as to the consort's precise whereabouts. I would suggest you first try asking Sir Albrecht about Dravanian legends, specifically those concerning dragons in the east. Report back to me once you have learned something you deem pertinent. Started excuse me, I started straying pretty early today, so depending on how quickly we blast through these, I've got another job I want to pick up and maybe grind out a few duty roulettes with it. Glad to see you safely returned. Were you able to locate Hustian? Let's see. She is correct to surmise that formidable dragons are oft made the subject of local legend. I shall discuss this with the congregation priest. I have known him to be quite an authority on Dravanian legends. Although, to think that a dragoon, once gripped by the sole desire to slay dragons, should now wish to help one. 'Tis a queer new world indeed that we inhabit, though not one I dislike. Everyone's gay. You're gay. You're gay. Everyone. That matters not. I shall seek out the priest at once and raise your query with him. Oh. Okie Astro. It's all queers. Oops, all gay. Top of the morning to you, Yuna. Or is it the evening? It is so hard to tell locked up here in the Athenium. Day and night. Alright, technically speaking, I can leave at any time of my choosing, but it is as if some strange force prevents me from stepping forth into the light. Dude, this fucker has a lot of fourth wall breaks. Like, oh, dude, I have a picture of one of the Astro quests starting with him, and it's like, John Equinard has something to say. It's almost as if he has a giant exclamation mark over his head. It's like, this fucker. We're here to learn what became of your humble companions while you were off saving the realm. Well, since Ishgard's quite abrupt change in leadership, the Vault has become somewhat more receptive to the contemporary ideas of Lady Master Rufin. They have even asked our compatriot in disguise to hold for them another symposium on Charlayan astrology. And this time, within the city-state proper, and not at some forsaken hamlet. Nothing against the fine citizenry of Falcon's Nest, mind you. In fact, the good Rufin has foreseen your arrival in the stars and awaits you in the observatorium. And they're fucking wilding in the Novice Network chat. They're talking about clogging toilets and shit. Oh my god. And shit indeed. The look on your face tells me you're less than convinced. Still the skeptic after all we have been through together, eh? Allow me to recreate this morning's reading. In the center of the Dawn Cross we have the spear. To its left, the inverted arrow. To its right, the inverted balance. Beneath, we have the inverted spire and the inverted bowl. And finally, at the crown, is the ewer. Well, do you not see it? It is as plain as a stench of day-old piss in the broom on the balmy summer's eve. Oh my fucking god. Though peace hath settled upon our great land, it will be along the path of coming destruction that friends, new and old, shall discover the bush that doth bear the fruit of knowledge and hope. And to think it was you who attuned to all 6 heavens. In other words, she who brought peace to Ishgard. That would be you. We'll walk the road south to the observatorium where, I don't know, you shall read some books with Lady Leveva to discover a new spell for delivering excruciating pain to your enemies and their families. It all sounded more convincing when she explained it to me this morning over that bottle of wine. Or was it 2 bottles? At any rate, I would suggest you make haste. You know how our little protégée does not take kindly to those who make her wait. It was good seeing you again, Yuna. Something tells me you will be back again soon. Uh-huh. Hey. Oh, there we go. Camera's a bit finicky. What? Oh, there you are. It's like, where is she? Friend and fellow astrologian. So good to see you again. What has it been? 2, 3... let us just say that it's been too long. Dude, so I take so many screenshots where, like, I adjust the camera to be, like, right in my face, where it's literally white woman jump scare. Did Shanagunard speak to you of my rating? Well then, there's hope for that well-dressed dullard yet. Though I've learned the key to success is not entrusting him with more than one task at a time, and making certain that task does not require much in the way of thinking. Or acting, for that matter. As for the reading, I believe it instructs as to our next step in the spreading the knowledge of Master Rufin. Injured traveler has arrived at our gates seeking succor. An ill omen. With me, Yuna. Please, I can walk no further. The stars were kind in guiding you to this place. The astrologians here have ways of easing one's hurts. Astrologians? I have no need of prophecy or prognostication. Or, I could stay my tongue and allow you to tend to my wounds. My apologies. May you have a quick recovery, friend. In time you will come to believe the power of the stars wield. Master Rufin, Yuna's felicitous return inspires me to step out for a breath of fresh air. And behold, already does it appear a new adventure is upon us. Ah, and here I was thinking you made the journey south to lend your talents in preparing for the forthcoming symposium. Master Rufin. Or was it Lady Leveva? If I may, allow me to give you my thanks. And my apologies for earlier. I have a tendency to allow your unbridled emotions to get the best of you. That was amazing. You knew what I was going to say before I even said it. But where are my manners? I am Kyokuho of Hingashi, and have braved storm and sea to learn of the many wonders that it is said are to be found in this magnificent realm. But you already knew that, didn't you? No, I did not. Now, if you would excuse me, I must get back to matters which are important. Important matters, such as astrological matters? Could you show me? I wouldn't be a burden. I'd stand in the corner, in the shadows, behind a curtain. I'll appreciate the somewhat forced enthusiasm. I'm afraid that won't be I was merely hoping that we might be able to share some insight into each other's fields. Each other's fields? Wouldn't happen to be a geomancer, would you? A geomancer? So-called masters of wind and water. My grandfather had a tome written on the Far Eastern art, elemental and directional divination, though much of it seemed little more than folklore. Lady Lefeva, did not the morning's greetings mention friends new and old? What if Yuna were the friend old, and this peculiar little man, the friend new? Spear pointing west, once pointing east, the arrow pointing in all directions and none. It might just mean Kyokuho, though it pains me to admit as much. It appears your arrival has been foretold. Perhaps there is much that I can learn from you, nay, that we can learn from each other. Ha ha! Oh, but there is. Soon you will learn the push and pull of the elements, bringing together those who require companionship most. Yes. The elements. The push and pull. We will have to discuss that further at another juncture. For the time being, I am placing you in the care of my first and foremost pupil, Yuna. An excellent proposal. Or, as I believe the Hingans say, keikaku. I dabble a bit in the language when I was younger, but for the life of me, that ebon-haired emissary would not afford me even a sidelong glance. Dude, you know that meme of the white dude in the kimono? It's I had the mental image of that, but Shen Equinard. Hold on. I can send it. If my phone will cooperate. Okay, I sent it in our Discord server. And might I hazard that there is no finer place to begin unlocking the secrets of the stars than under the bowl near Roots Lake? I shall even lead good Kyokuho to the South Shroud myself, if Yuna agrees to do the rest. Let me check. Yeah, no, I knew that one, but my mind was focused on white dude in kimono. After you, then. Next we meet Kyokuho, you will have opened the first gate and better understanding the influence the stars hold over all of us. Safe journeys. There you are. I was beginning to wonder if you hadn't been eaten by the hoverflies on your way here. But I jest. Shanaquanor tells me that you are quite the authority in all things relating the bowl. So enlighten me, oh honorable sensei. I am, as you Westerners say, all eyes. Or was it ears? And Orisians believe it was from from this tree planted by your gods in the very heavens that all life was born? Yeah, exactly. So this is your bowl. In the Far East, we know of the constellation as something different, but know it all the same. I must admit, however, that seeing it under a different sky than my own fills my heart with a sense of both wonderment and now confusion, knowing what it represents to your people. While I cannot wrap my head around it, is what I cannot wrap my head around is that you would truly believe a notion so foolish as that the power of earth, a word that by your own definition means soil, would not come from the land itself, but rather from 6 tiny lights flickering in the night skies. We students of geomancy believe that such power naturally lies beneath our feet, ever flowing through creation, as blood does through our veins. Yet despite the differences in our thinking, the similarities are encouraging. All trees are born of the earth, and their protection is universal. A most thought-provoking opinion that I am certain Lady Leveva will be delighted to hear. Though might I suggest you withhold the part about being unable to wrap your head around our foolish notions, less you enjoy having a steel-toed boot wedged firmly twixt the bullocks. Shall we be going then? By this hour, Lady Laveva will have already made the journey back to the Athenaeum. They do. Oh, whoop. Come on, there you go. My thanks for taking the handgun off my hands. And not because I think our visitor an annoying little braggart with all the manners of kobold foundling, which I still do, but because I needed time to finish my work without distraction. So, tell me, what did I miss? I see. Let me zoom in, because the camera's being weird. Perhaps I judged Kyokuho too hastily. I still have my reservations, but I shall afford him the benefit of the doubt. For now. The teachings of geomancy may be grounded in fairy tales and falsehoods, but my grandfather told me that every lie is born of the truth. If I can find the truth within Kyokuho's backwards beliefs, it may provide insight into our own school of thought. I see now that my choice to assign you as a tutor was a wise decision. Might I ask this of you, Yuna? I promise that once this symposium is ended, I shall assume the duties of Kyokuho's tutelage. I sense good fortune in our stars, my friend. Good fortune indeed. You know, kind of ironic. You, of all people, are judging people based on beliefs. Should get a new pair of talking about boots again. I should get a new pair of boots. My tall lady. The tall lady. Guys, it's tall lady. I actually need to see how, like, dude, I'm not even up to, like, I'm barely below her shoulders. The walls that surround this city remind me of my homeland. I built it as a fortress to keep out invaders. Not that it made much difference in the end. Oh, someone joined my free company. Wanna say hi? Oh, not this again. Perhaps you could lighten the mood by sharing our recent bit of good news? I mean, that's awesome. Is it like, modded just to make them even bigger? Ah, yes. It looks like we found our next client. Nothing's been decided, but a lady named Oriel is waiting for us near the Gate of Thal. We'll meet you there. What the fuck was that quest sound? Which one was the Gate of Thal? This way. Hell yeah. I mean, it went hard. I'm just like... used to the Heaven's Word at this point. And I guess now Stormblood? We're the bodyguards, right? We need your help. It's my husband. After he walked out, I thought I'd seen the last of him, but now you've got to keep him away from us. I'm not sure we're qualified to settle domestic disputes. Radovan. This sounds serious. Hear her out, would you? Very well. My apologies. Please continue. His name's Gerard. Won't leave us alone, and he keeps jumping out to harass us when we're by ourselves. If we're to go outside the city gates, I'm sure he'd follow us. And when he does, I want you to scare him off. I doubt he'll show himself if he sees you have bodyguards, so we'll wait somewhere nearby. When the moment is right, we'll give him a fright he won't forget in a hurry. Yes, that ought to work. Tim and I will leave through this gate, so you should find a hiding place. It's time that bastard, excuse my language, learned his lesson. Don't fucking worry about it. Remember, we've got the boy to think about. I'd rather not cut a man down in front of his own son, but I will if I have to. You follow my lead. Get away from her. What? Who the bloody hells are you? Friends of Oriel. Now walk away while you still can. But I only want what's best for my boy. Your boy? You've got no right to call him that. He belongs to me. It's your final warning. Bother them again, and you won't live to regret it. I'll teach him. And you were wonderful. Worth every gil. Thank you so much. I just noticed she's wearing the same choker that Thancred wears. It was our pleasure. Although there wasn't much for you to do, your presence lent weight to my words. But most importantly, the client was satisfied with our work. Yes, she did seem rather pleased with herself. Listen, you two, there's no time to explain. We have to follow that woman. Hell's bells. When Sophie gets one of her hunches, there's no stopping. Rose's posture is wicked. Why would she bring Tim all the way out here? What are we supposed to do with Ront like this? We feed him up. He might be worth something one day. She's selling her own child. We've got to stop them. Wait, is that... Enough of this. Stay away from my son. Son, eh? Should have kept out of this, mate. Too late now. Quickly. We've got to help him. Not now. You know, it's up to you. You saved us. How can I ever... Daddy! Yuna, I let you down. I let everyone down. But, Sophie, what happened here? I knew from the moment I met Oriel there was something not quite right about her. It wasn't until later I realized. She's a somnus addict. Once it takes hold, it changes you. She was able to keep her addiction hidden from most, but not from me, and probably not from her family either. Yes, I've known for a while, but I had no idea she'd do something like this. Gods, if I hadn't started gambling, this never would have happened. Holy shit. Well, okay, so really fucked up family. The shock of losing them made me realize I couldn't live like that anymore. So I vowed to turn my life around, and I worked my fingers to the bone to repay the money I owed. But by the time I finally found the courage to track down Oriel, it was too late. She'd made new friends, the wrong sort of friends, and had to resort to God's only know what to make men see me. It became too much to bear, and Somnus was her only escape. Nothing else mattered to her, not even her own child. Hell yeah. What will you do now? I plan to send her to Frondale's frontistery. They can treat people like Oriel, although it costs more than most folks can afford. My savings should cover it for a short while at least. Take it one day at a time and see how she responds to the treatment. I know she might never recover, but I can't give up on her. Obviously, she's in no fit state to look after Tim, so he'll be living with me. You could have been killed confronting those slavers. If you wind up dead, there'll be no one to look after the boy. From now on, you'll have to think before you act. I will, I swear it. Thank you all for everything you've done. Poor child. Sophie's quick thinking may have saved him on this occasion, but I fear his hardships are far from over. I, on the other hand, only succeeded in disgracing myself. Again. It's not your fault, Radovan. I think you owe Yuna an explanation, though. Yes, if we are to fight side by side, there's something you should know. Though I served as an Imperial conscript for a time, after I disobeyed a direct order, I was sentenced to solitary confinement for more than a decade. Like many of the inmates, I was forced to wear a Magitech collar. The wardens could use them to administer a severe electric shock anytime they pleased. And please them it did. Paralysis would eventually wear off, but even now, years after removing the collar, my whole body will suddenly seize up. It's as though the pain never left me, and could reawaken at any moment. Thankfully, my condition appears to have improved somewhat since leaving the Empire. Perhaps one day I will be free of it, but until then, there's no telling when it might strike. Radovan saved my bacon more times than I can count, so it's only fair that I do the same for him. We've been through thick and thin ever since the first time we met in that Gerlayan jail. I was awaiting execution along with the other captured members of the Resistance, as well as various insurgents and undesirables. Among them were several Somnus addicts. Even in an Imperial jail, there are ways to get your hands on it. When I saw Oriel, I couldn't put my finger on it at first. She had the same look in her eyes as those lost souls. Anyway, where was I? So Radovan had been meaning to escape ever since he was first imprisoned and was secretly digging a tunnel, a few elms each night, over the course of about 10 years. The only thing was, it went the wrong way, and one night, he suddenly burst through my wall. Why did you have to tell her that? You know I'm far from proud of my miscalculation. Well, things worked out in the end, didn't they? The other inmates made such a racket when he came crashing in, it drew the attention of the wardens, and all hell broke loose. In the confusion, Radovan and I forced our way past the guards, and by some miracle, we managed to avoid their searchlights. And finally, we were free. Free to return to my wife and child, to my homeland. Or so I thought. While I'd been rotting away in a Garlean cell, everything I knew, everything I loved had been taken from me. Should have been there. But I couldn't even... God, enough of this. We've spoken overlong as it is. Well then, where to next? I think I've had my fill of Ul'dah. Let's say we try our luck in Silumensa. I'm sure a change of scenery will do us a world of good. Yes, I like the sound of that. Let's reconvene at the local Adventurers Guild. Dude, yeah, there we go. Oh. Spicy chicken. There you are. A city founded by pirates. Now there's a terrible idea if I ever heard one. With all the cutthroats running rampant, I'm surprised there's anyone left. What about the views? Sea breeze. There'll be plenty of time to enjoy ourselves once we've a few more gil in our pockets. You know, we're still waiting for word from the guild, so perhaps you should find somewhere for a few practice swings in the meantime. Damn. What next? Dork Knight. Oh yeah. Look at my sword. I fucking wish we had a Buster sword. Oh, not you. Did I get a gunblade from the Shire? I did, okay. I just don't have a lot of gunblade. Oh, wait, hold on. Did I... Okay, so I have it equipped. I just can remember it. Because I have it glammed to the high steel one. Because, I don't know. Didn't vibe well with my lightning glam. I don't have a whole lot of gunblade options as of yet. crazy, though. It's crazy. Well, like, yeah, the, uh, melee DPS, uh, limit breaks rapid, but, like, give me a fucking Buster Sword. You've got the Blazefire Saber. Give me a Buster Sword. Which I'm pissed off. Speaking of the Blazefire Saber, I wish I could make that as a glam for a gunblade, but I know it's technically it's not technically a gunblade in the way that these gunblades function. Because, you know, you have to, like, manually switch between gun and blade. But you know, fellow master of the dark arts. And yet, that is but one of the many faces you wear. Yeah, that's also a reason, but I think it also has to do with the fact that it is, like what I was saying with you having to manually switch between gun and blade. Slayer of gods, rider of dragons, savior of Ishgard, a hero by any measure who stood against Nidhogg on the steps of faith when others fled. A hero walks in light and fights for great causes, and a knight who walks in darkness and fights for the forgotten. A contradiction, some might say. Rubbish, I say. But you tell me, do you yet walk the path? So long as innocents suffer, I will not forsake the abyss. Thought not. Then let us speak as comrades. Ishgard has seen much change in recent days, and many proclaim it to be the dawning of a new era of peace and prosperity. An enlightened age. Yet, as we both know, the brighter the light, the deeper the shadows. As Dark Knights, we must remain vigilant for injustice, and be ever ready to defend the weak and downtrodden. Now, more than ever. It has been a while since we patrolled the streets of our fair city, felt the cobbles beneath our boots and so forth. A tour from the top might be in order. Why don't we start at the last vigil? Alright, see ya. Give me a second. Okay. Wait, what the fuck? Where are you pointing me? I was getting my quest markers confused, I assume. As you look on Fort Tom Manor, you but reflect on your time in Ishgard, the comrades with whom you've traveled, and those lost along the way. I like that it mentions that. I feel like she would, I feel like I would be kinda in my feels over Archifont, so. You seem distracted. That I forgot to turn off. Right, you were a ward of House Forton. Once upon a time. No, I suppose not. Huh? Damn this thing, but I swear I heard something in your pack break. Bloody hells, is that your soul crystal? What happened to the other half? Forgive me. It seems I am the one responsible. I do not know you, boy. Name yourself. Mist, my lord. I'm no lord, and you're no mist. Don't think I wouldn't know a bastard of the broom by sight. I have a power which I can use to help those in need. Alas, this power requires a tremendous quantity of ether. Oh, sorry. I thought to draw on natural sources nearby, but in so doing, I stole a portion of that contained within your crystal. Give me. Please forgive me. I will return it to you, I promise. But I must first ask that you allow me to use a portion. Mist, was it? What do you want to help? Anyone. Everyone. Look around you. Is not this world filled with sadness and despair? I can free but a single person from their burdens. Mist looks an awful lot like, Ysayle. Or am I just tripping? Means well enough. Why don't we help him find someone in need and give him a chance to use his power? Oh, bloody brilliant. Let's believe the mysterious boy with the mysterious power who mysteriously stole a portion of Yuna's soul crystal. What could possibly go wrong? Well, it's your crystal, Yuna. Either we deal with the boy here and now, or we go along with his plan. And since you're not reaching for your sword, whether it's the latter. Congratulations, boy. You get your wish. We're not like to find any poor unfortunate souls here, so I suggest we head to Foundation. And if we find no one suitable there, you are to return what you stole at once. Understood? Yes, my lord. Thank you for placing your trust in me. You have my assurances that the remaining funds will be delivered soon. Surely that is enough to convince you to resume work. I've got a score of clients clamoring for my services. Clients willing to pay in full, in advance. I'd be a fool to put you ahead of them. I understand that, I do, but it has been an eternity since we first brokered this arrangement. And many of the clients of whom you speak have come to you but recently. I know this to be true. It's one thing to aid the scholasticate, milady, but you've got to understand my position here. Bloody politics it is. No man lives at Chisel till we're paid in full. Sorry, but that's the way it's got to be. Blessed moral to you. Oh, I beg your pardon. I did not notice you standing there. As you may have overheard, I am funding the restoration of the statue of Saint Valerian. And as you may have guessed, it is not going well, on account of my insufficient funds and my family's growing infamy. My cousin was Sir Ignace de Vesnane of the Heavens Ward. He served the Archbishop faithfully, together with his sworn brothers. Great goodly men who were complicit in terrible crimes, if Sir Emmerich and this warrior of light are to be believed. Ignace was distraught when he learned the statue had been destroyed by the Dervanians. He took it upon himself to champion its restoration, but because of these tales, others are reluctant to involve themselves. I do not know nor care if Sir Emmerich speaks the truth. Ignace was my cousin and a man of the Fury, and I will honor him by completing his legacy. Or so I once believed. Perhaps it is indeed beyond me. Found someone, didn't we? I knew it. I knew we would. I can help her. Yes, yes. I will make it right. I have the power. Come, let us not keep this poor woman waiting. Is this child a friend of yours? The way he stares at me is somewhat... You wish to see your cousin again. Well, yes, I would love to see Ignace again. More than anything. But I know I will not. He walks in Halone's halls, I am certain. Think of him. Think of his face. Of his smile. Of his laugh. Remember every moment you shared, every memory, and hold that image of him in your mind's eye. And then go to a quiet place you shared where no one will come. Wait for me there. I really don't understand what this is all about, but since you seem so earnest, I will trust you and do as you ask. There's a garden to the south of the tribunal, of which we were both fond. I pray you will explain all to me when this is finished. Go with her. I will go to Sidurgu and Riel and bring them with me. Then you will all understand what I can do, and why you must help. That's a promise. Your friend has arrived. He's brought companions, I see. No, it cannot be. Ignace, is it really you? Oh, praise Halone, you're alive. My dear cousin, how it warms my heart to see you in good health. I pray you will forgive me for my lengthy absence. Don't be foolish. There's only joy to see you returned. Come, we must go to your father and mother at once. How they will weep at the sight of you. I cannot. Better for them to mourn me as a son who gave his life in service to his archbishop and his home. I have heard that you yet labor to see the statue of Saint Valerian restored. Know that I am grateful beyond measure. I am undeserving of your praise, cousin. For all my efforts, the statue remains a shattered ruin. But seeing you here, so full of light and life, fills me with renewed conviction. I will see it through, though, I swear to you. And if you have indeed done things the way they say, then perhaps it will earn you a measure of forgiveness. I love you, cousin, now and ever after. Look after my parents, and yourself. I don't know how you did it, but thank you for bringing him back to me. But you must know he is not safe here. I pray you help him to flee the city. She's right. Ishgard is no place for a man of the Heavens Ward. We will sneak him out of the city. The fewer the better. Meet us at Falcon's Nest after. We have much to discuss. reading through some shit in FC chat. Give me a second. Be going. Wait, no, not this gate. Tis in the foundation. This gate I'm thinking of. Yeah, this gate over here. For fear of being seen by the sentries, I bade the others go on ahead. They should hurry. The further they take Ignos from Millie, the weaker he will become. I pray we are not too late. Forgive me. Forgive me. I should have known the magic would not sustain itself much longer. That which you see before you is Ignos. What remains of him? I can give the memories form. I can breathe them full of life and return them to their loved ones. But as the memory fades, so too does the magic. Ether, formless and free. That which I took to make Ignos. And Millie, whole. Draw your sword. Reclaim that which is lost. consume the abyss with Soul Eater. Oh, wait. There we go. It's finished. Good, I've had enough of this farce. Conjuring a simulacrum of a bloody knight of the Heaven's Ward in the middle of Ishgard. Fury, take me, you are a fool. We're lucky to be alive. Soul Crystal is stored then? Or not? We had an agreement, boy. You were to return that which you stole. Give me. I returned to you that which was used to give Ignas life. But as for the remainder... 4 more times. It is within my power to do this 4 more times. 4 more times, and you shall be made whole. You have my word. For a boy with such an incredible power, you are remarkably helpless. Not only did you rob Yuna of her ether, you imposed upon her to find your people in need. You want to do good? You want to be a hero? You want to help people? Then why weren't you better prepared? I will never be a hero. I only wanted to help. It is not death itself we fear, but the unfinished story. The promise of what could have been. It is enough to break a heart. And a woman. The shattered pieces of a life will never come together again. But if a glimpse of their loved ones grants them the peace they deserve, then I must. I must. It is your decision, Yuna. You are the victim. Well, he's got my ether. I'm not about to let him out of my sight. Then, will continue to accompany me? That is a relief. We're not going anywhere, Mist. Even Sid. He may look and act like a Chocobo's ours, but he means well. Fine. I'm only trying to put the fear of the gods into the little shite, but by all means, go ahead and undermine my authority. Anyway, I'd rather not freeze to death out here in the snow. Let's return to Falcon's Nest and discuss what to do next. Just what I needed. Another child to look after. Am I a Dark Knight or a nursemaid? I don't know anymore. But times, they're ever-changing, and perhaps we Dark Knights must change with them. Long-held truths are become lies, and villains heroes. Though I should be glad if I never have to deal with another hero again. No offense, of course, but you are the exception that proves the rule. The righteous are all too uncompromising, and woe betide the man who offends their delicate sensibilities. If anything, I say you are too accommodating. but it is your ether and soul crystal at stake. 4 times he swears, but we shall hold him to it. Together. In the meantime, you may as well get some rest or attend to other matters. These two can keep themselves company. Maybe I'll find somewhere to take a nap, or a tavern to have a drink. Yeah, I need to see if my... Okay. So my FC leader was spamming a bunch of, stuff. I will be right back. It's gonna... So sorry. It took a little bit longer than expected. Oh, record to switch scenes. Cola bottle. That's fun. There you are. Saroon. Cat Dad. I don't know if I explained it, but like Zaroon, I feel like at this point of the story, Yuna would be low key kinda just have gotten attached to him. So, yeah. Zaroon is cat dad, Radovan is cat grandpa. Yuna, Arya. While there were lessons to be learned as I dragged you along on my quest for vengeance, this time I offered a more structured approach to your training. Well, actually, I want to see if I missed anything from my free company. I have not. After long years, Alamigo finally had the chance to seize the reins of his destiny. But I will continue with my pilgrimage. Even from beyond the borders of my homeland, there's still much I can contribute to its struggle. After long years... Oh. It was 2 decades ago that I joined the revolutionaries. Though our motives were just, it was our actions that ultimately created a breach for the Empire to exploit. My time at the forefront of that stage has ended. To return to it now would only invite confusion and resentment. The revolution has since become the resistance, and the right to shape the future of Alamigo now rests in the hands of those who will live in the coming age. No, I shall play my part by nurturing a new generation of red mages. I made my mark as a crimson duelist. You will not be bound by my oath. You are free to decide for yourselves how best to employ the skills I teach you. Oh, I forgot I disabled view gear while sheathed. Now, as for your studies, you are well aware of my proclivity for practical application. We must challenge you with a new frontier, a place where the strong gather in search of adventure. To Idleshire, my friends. Yeah. Young Arya has invested in her appearance, it would seem. Doesn't she look the part? Right. Let's break in that new equipment. There is a hostile organization of goblins known as the Illuminati, making trouble for the people here in Idleshire. The most prominent threat to the populace seems to be the mechanical soldiers controlled by Illuminati aggressors. I say, we did the locals a favor by using these clunking contraptions as combat practice. After your battle with Lambard, however, that may be all they amount to. Especially for you, Yuna. Your mastery of red magic is such now that I dare say you could handle a mechanical soldier or two on your own. As for you, Arya, your spells have raw power, but lack refinement. I think I would prefer to have you training alongside a partner. I wish to try fighting alone. Please understand, Before I began learning magic, I felt like I scarcely existed. But when I work to match you and Yuna, when I see myself improving, that's when I feel most alive. I want not more than to become a full-fledged red mage. I want to stand at your side and fight as your equal. Oh, far be it from me to stop you. Mayhap the perfect way to conquer your difficulties with white magic is to be alone in a situation which offers you little recourse but to rise above them. Both of you should head now towards the Architecton and find your own mechanical foes to overcome. I will be waiting for you here in the Maker's Quarter. Her outfit is really cute, I will say. I wanted to get a better look at it, but... I... Oh wait, shit. What's my... Don't I have... Or cure, yeah. Dude, what the fuck? this motherfucker. What the hell? Dude? What the fuck? Ah, I've come to recognize that confident step. Well done, Yuna. Ah, uh, did you happen to spot Arya on your travels? Unless I have sorely overestimated her abilities, I would have expected her to arrive not long after you. Arya did seem intent on proving herself. Pray forgive the tortured metaphor, but I have a feeling she may have sliced off more than she could fry. Come, let us seek out our young mage and render aid if need be. Yuna, I did it. I won. Impressive as hell, I barely held my own against one of those fuckers. Yuna, there you are. Is Arya unharmed? My, that is a fair gathering of goblins. From the looks of it, defeating this lot took almost everything she had. Can you walk, my friend? I've never seen you so... Give them to me. Your life energies. Your souls. I must feed. Her hair, she's become like Lambert. Stop this, Arya. 'Tis no use, the hunger's taken over. We have to knock her senseless. Uh-oh. I suggest we take her back to Edelshire and let her rest at Rowena's establishment. I only hope she will be more amenable to discussion when she awakes. I just realized that is a big ass fucking cliff they. Like, I knew it was a cliff that they built on, but my god, it's high. Like, yeah, damn. Coon pickle. Oh. Where am I going? Oh. What happened? Did I truly attack you? Gods, why would I do such a thing? I remember defeating that contraption. I remember falling to my knees, exhausted from spell casting. I remember my thoughts fading away as a roar in my head grew louder and louder. And then... nothing. I don't understand what possessed me. Never would I draw my blade on you or Zaroon. This was poor judgment on my part. Should not have tested you so harshly. Listen to me carefully now, Arya. I have seen how battle can exhaust you, but I fail to understand what grim truth such exhaustion presaged. In the moment you say a roaring drowned out your thoughts. The color of your hair changed quite distinctly. We witnessed a similar transformation in Lambard, ere he began to feed upon living ether. Lambard was able to employ magics of incredible power, but it left him hungering for life force. I believe what you experienced was a surrender to that very same hunger. It cannot be. My erstwhile colleague described how he enacted a change in his physical being. While I suppose it is possible such a ritual was performed upon you as well, he mentioned the process requiring many years. You have many more questions, I am sure, but for now you must rest. If this hunger takes hold when your ether is exhausted, then it is even more important that you recuperate from your exertions. And, Arya, do not despair that you have lost yourself. After all, you are in perfect control now, are you not? I am. Thank you, Zaroon. Yuna, we will seek the cure to Arya's condition. Though I have little knowledge of such forbidden arts, I am confident that a determined expedition will yield the answers we require. Prepare yourself for another journey. See, someone else is also leveling Red Mage. Hi. Have not. Whoa, there is a lot more here than I knew. Interesting. Um, hmm, that looks sick. So where do I get fiend totems? And heavens. Yeah, where do I get these fucking... Where do I get these totems? And... Are they from extremes? Probably. Let's see what this is about. Curious. Good evening to you, Yuna. Something on your mind? I've been called back to Revenant's Toll to take care of a new shipment of wares, but if you've matters of money that require my attention... hold that thought. Seems I have visitors. Some more welcome than others. Pardon the intrusion, Mistress Rowena. I realize I was here only a few days ago, but I really must speak with you about... Good, you're still here. We need to talk about that promissory note. Now I know what you're thinking. Stinking sack of garbage shite ain't got me God's damn money. Well, you're wrong. Saved it up. Every last gill. Thing is, my mates took me out for a drink to celebrate, and... I Excuse me, sir, but when people are talking, it is generally considered rude to interrupt. I know not what manner of business you have with Rowena, but I am quite sure it can wait. As I was saying, Mistress Rowena, you perchance been able to arrange a meeting with your associates. There's much I would ask them about their work on arcane sentries. Hold on a bleeding minute. You are telling me to wait? Didn't no one ever teach you to shut your gob when the grown-ups are talking? My life, and, more importantly, my note at the tavern's at stake here. Be a good lad and bugger off till Uncle Geralt's had this say. Geralt, mind your own advice for once and keep quiet. I'll deal with you soon enough. Regarding your question, Articher, the answer's no. The client I had in mind's a bit of a recluse, stubborn as all hells in her old age. She wouldn't hear of any meeting, and I ain't got time to press her on it at the moment. Too much to do by half. Sounds like you've got enough on your plate without having to worry yourself over an old mate's errands. Tell you what, let's forget about it for. I do not know what hole you have drunken yourself into, sir, and quite frankly, I do not care. I have important business to discuss with Mistress Rowena, and I demand you leave us be this instant. The youth of today, jumped up, self-serving little shite, the lot of you. Fine, tell us then, your highness, what's this business of yours that's more important than a man's life, eh? Very well. Only to explain myself to Rowena. Together with my master, I've been conducting research into the manipulation of spiritual and etheric energies in what you call the Near East. Our work has shown that the soul is in fact an agglomeration of a specific type of force. This force defines the quiddity of man and makes us who we are. While the soul is indeed inimitable, we believe it possible to create a quasi-soul. Thus, we turned our attention to anima, self-same force which allows individuals to traverse the life stream via etherites. By infusing a soul stone with the requisite quantities of ether, this force may be harnessed. Yet, after years of research and experimentation, we have not to show for it but inert husks of stone. We repeated the process again and again, adjusting every element, but the result was always the same. At length, my master declared the project a failure and turned his thoughts to other matters. But I could not give up, not after witnessing the beauty of anima, not after coming so close. And that's why I've journeyed hither to Eorzea. I am certain that with the Charlatan's knowledge of arcane sentries, I can complete my project. I'm also certain that resultant souls will be worth more to mankind than ale-soaked dish clout that passes for yours. Finished, have you? Well then, allow me to retort. Seems to me you're a cockeyed little brat that speaks a lot without saying naught. You talk like a man of learning when 'tis plain you're just a boy who's never had a thought of his own. Couldn't even if you tried. Not that you ever would, of course. And why? Because the youth of today can't be bothered to do an ounce of honest work for themselves. No sense of duty. Things get rough, and you run for help, leaving a trail of piss in your wake. Do you reckon that them scholarly folks from Charlatan asked for the answer whenever they got stuck? Not bloody likely. They used their bloody brains. It ain't even that hard. If I saw these soul things burning out too quick, I'd think about sealing them inside something strong. Like a weapon, maybe, to keep all that light from escaping. Cost him a bit of freedom, aye. But it'd keep him around for a damn sight longer than you managed. What's more, like things really are alive, like you say, you'd end up with a weapon that could think for itself, which could be bloody lethal in the right hands. What do you say to that, you preening little shite? An anima weapon? That is absolutely genius. A means not only to preserve created anima, but to employ it. Anima weapons, aye? Anima weapons, eh? Aye, that'll sell. Quite an interesting proposition, Geralt. That could be quite lucrative. Why not help poor Ottershire here with his work and see what you can make of it? Hope that spineless take a piss. You're joking, ain't you? Why in the seven hells would I play nursemaid to a watery-eyed brat like him? It's just spouting shite. Didn't really mean none of it. Is that right? Pity. Sounded like something we could have made a good bit of coin out of. Enough to make me forget your debts. Like it's not. Your debts that I won't be forgetting otherwise. Change your mind? Good. Listen, Ottershire. Maybe a drunken bloody fool. He's also the finest blacksmith in all the realm. Anyone can forge a weapon capable of holding their souls? It's him. And our adventuring friend here, dear sweet Yuna, is a well-known hero around these parts. Should she love nothing more than to try out your new weapon when it's finished. Ain't that right? Just think of it. You'd be the first in all of Eorzea to wield one of these anima weapons. Which ain't a bad name now that I come to think of it. Anima weapon. Aye, that'll do. Hello, Rivon. Don't be so hasty, Yuna. This here's fate. What else could have brought the three of you to me at the self-same time? Don't go telling me the thought of a weapon that learns and adapts to combat don't interest you. We both know it does. Geralt, was it? Pray forgive me my rudeness earlier. If you truly are the smith she claims, I would be honored to have your assistance. And you, Yuna, I gather you are the perfect candidate to test a weapon once it's complete. Well, if this'll get me square with Rowena, I suppose my is yours. Don't think I'm getting roped into this alone. If I have to forge it, you have to wield it. Thank you, both of you. I promise you will not regret this. Nice to see you're all getting on. Now, you're gonna need a place to work, and I know just the spot. Azizla, the seat of elegant science, floating on high over Alabathia's spine. Abalathia. Not that the equipment up there will be any use to your mind. Only the 12 know how that stuff works. Still, I'll keep prying eyes away until the weapon's ready. I'll arrange for an airship to take you within the day. The fabled Azizla. Look forward to seeing you there, Yuna. Today has already proven to be more productive than I thought. Geralt's out of my hair, and soon I'll have new merchandise for the House of Splendors. Assuming this ridiculous plan of his works. I'm counting on you, Yuna. A bit of a distraction, I'll admit, but so my main scenario quest is Beyond the Great Wall. It's the very first Stormblood MSQ. I assume this changes with... Oh, wait. Can it only be... Huh. I'm gonna try it with... Actually... I'm gonna try it with Dragoon. The fabled Azus Law. I've heard stories, but who would believe such a technological marvel could exist? And floating in the sky at that. Only my master could see it now. But this is not the time for copying. Come on, let us begin our work on the anima weapon. Okay. Interesting. I will do those quests later. I have job quests to do. And we do have time. So I will pick up the job that I had been wanting to. Yuna, how fortuitous that you should choose this moment to visit. Pray forgive my abruptness, but are you acquainted with Ishgard's Watch and the commoners who fill its ranks? Truly? You've worked with Hilda before? Splendid, absolutely splendid. Let us discuss the problem at hand. Following our fair city's shift to a more egalitarian form of government, there has been talk of arming the City Watch with machinist weapons and equipment. The very type of initiative for which I have long advocated, and as part of this plan, I've been asked to provide a competent instructor. But as dearly as I wish to fulfill this request of Hilda's, I am afraid suitable candidates for the role are in woefully short supply. Surely you've heard news of the situation in Alamigo, yes? Well, that little conflict has seen the manufactory swamped with commissions for both material and marksmen. I have not a single machinist to spare. I was even forced to relinquish Joy, my indispensable right-hand woman, to some far-flung deployment. And so, Yuna, you must see why your presence here this day strikes me as something of a godsend. Who better to accept this position than our most accomplished machinist? I understand, of course, that you have your own business to attend to, and Can hardly spend every waking moment turning the watch. Thus do I intend to share your duties with our old friend, Rostenthal. Aside from his extensive knowledge of firearms, he was once the Commodore of the Knights of the Barracuda. Such experience should prove invaluable to the Watch's leadership. He is a natural choice to serve as your partner in the enterprise. From what I've been told, our former instructor was recently spotted arriving in Aylshire. Right, come along, Yuna, and lend me a hand in persuading the foul-mouthed brigand to return to Ishgard. Have you seen this place, Yuna? My prospectometer is simply overloaded by such potential. Why, the goblin technology amassed in the main square alone could keep me tinkering for days. And not that we'll be here nearly that long. Rostenthal is a striking fellow, someone who was bound to have noticed him. Shall we ask around? Ah, big lad with an eye patch, yes? Marked his passage as I would that of any dangerous beast. Stay a path, and you'll find him, like as not. I've seen him, man. Headed into the odd place he was, all swarthy and mysterious like. Had half a mind to follow him there. Can I interest you in a guided tour of... Oh, just a question? I've seen such a man. Was walking down the street, as a matter of fact. I think I did them out of order. Ah, I see you've kept one step ahead of me, Yuna. At least this time around, our dear instructor was not so damnably difficult to locate, eh? Thought I heard some familiar voices. Now, what brings it to you all the way out here? Not just a yearning to glimpse this ugly mug again. That much is certain. Astute as always, my friend. We have, in fact, come with an offer of employment. You want me to teach trigger work again? Bugger that. Why don't you have Joy do it? Joy's far too humble to fare well as an instructor, and is fully occupied by other manufacturing business besides. You also have considerable experience with commanding a military company, if I am not mistaken. Are you bloody daft, or did you just forget? Me piss-poor leadership of the Cudas is what ruined my reputation in the first place. Do you honestly reckon a man like me is fit to take charge of training your city watch? Well, if you haven't the stones for it. You trying to tickle me pride, lass? You seem determined. You seem damn determined to not let an old pirate sit and rust in peace. Then this means you accept. Trim your sails there, boss. I'll make my final decision after I've had a chat with this last leads watch. Seems we must arrange a meeting with Hilda. Would you mind handling the introductions? My thanks. Now, I really should be getting back to the workshop. I have a small mountain of munitions to make if I'm to honor all these commissions. Do the manufactory proud, my friends. Ugh. And just when I was getting bleeding warm again. I'll see you in Ishgard, you know. Are we clear, or must I repeat myself in simple terms? Expect very little from your low-born riffraff. If you wish to serve Ishgard, then know your place and keep well out of the way. Bastard blue blood. He'd not wag his tongue like that if his boss was round. And a fine day to you too, Yuna. Little bird told me you'd be on your way. The lads and lasses were well pleased to hear they'd be learning at the foot of Ishgard's savior. And you must be Rostenthal, eh? I'll warn you right now. The Watch is a raw lot. They ain't used to formal training, and you'll need to work 'em hard before they'll count for more than cannon fodder. Work 'em hard, you say? Do things the pirate way, lass. I'll have 'em pissing blood and wailing for the mums by first spell. We'll see about that. I don't know about Limsa's back alleys, but the Broom's not a place what suffers with wilden daisies. But my lot lacking skill, make up for in spirit. Ha! I like a challenge. Now, tell me more about how this watch of yours fits into Ishgard's defenses. Well, we're officially back in the arms of the Eorzean Alliance, ain't we? And seeing as a good chunk of the Temple Knights have been marched out to Alamigo, streets are a bit thin on soldiers. That's where the watch comes in. We've been something of an independent operation till now. The houses want to put us on the payroll. We mean to use our numbers to plug the holes in the walls, as it were. The best part is, we get paid to do more of what we was doing for naught. Coin in our purses and food in our bellies. Can't complain about that. Aye, but the arrangement's not to everyone's liking. There's inquisitors and nobles alike looking to trip us up at every turn. Ain't keen on the idea of commoners being armed and organized. I reckon the only way to shut those bastards down is by convincing everyone else that the watch is something worth keeping. But if we mean to prove ourselves, we need proper equipment and training. That's why I took most of the coin we'd been given and went begging to Lord Hylenar. Now we have firearms and 2 clever blighters to teach us how to use them. Aye, I've heard enough. can't properly protect folk what don't recognize your authority. Just do as old Rosenthal says, and we'll soon teach him bastards to respect you. Here's what we're gonna do. First, gather a crew of your finest lads and lasses. Slap a name on them. One what'll give them naysayers to sit up and take notice. What? You mean an elite company like the Dragoons or the Heavens Ward? I reckon a good name might impress some of the highborn. I'll be buggered if I can't think of one. Well, let's see. How about Hilda's Hounds? Oh, you mean Hilda's Hounds? Well, I do like the sound of that. What do you say, lads? As soon as they've unpicked a crew for the hounds, I'll start teaching them the basics. And after they've had a chance to learn barrel from stock, you can come back and test their skills. Sound like a fair division of labor? Right then, I'll whip him into shape before you know it. Let's just see how tough these broom-born bastards really are. Before I started that, I thought I saw something from my company. Okay, maybe I'm just tripping. Hello, Bacon. If I remember correctly, John Kennedy? Holy fuck, John Kennedy. Not you. Oh, Lord. Frankie the Healer? I wonder what jobs they mean. Was it you? Or no, this is blue magic. Are we? I don't. What's my friend? Ugh. Because I did mean to follow you back. Oh, yes, I did. Oh, wait, I thought you meant Twitch for some reason. not here. I mean, we can. I did see you stream a little bit, I thought. Okay, well. No, I mean, if you want to add me here. I could. I am open to the offer. No, I just need to find certain someone. Is it, are they upper decks, maybe? Might be. Or is it you? Yeah. Good madam. Oh, good madam. You can spare a moment, yes? Of course you can. See, I've just witnessed a performance most marvelous, and I simply must tell someone about it. What sort of performance, you ask? Why, none other than a troupe of traveling dancers hailing from rods at Han across the sea. I dare say their bold, exotically beautiful motions are like nothing our realm has ever seen. Adventurers like you are always on the lookout for stimulating new experiences, yes? You simply must witness this spectacle for yourself. Just follow the road towards the convent of the Dutiful Sisters, and you'll run smack dab into the stage they set up in the square. Fuck with this dude's coat. Kind of a bad day to be putting on a performance, huh? Greetings, traveler. Come to see our little show, have you? On behalf of Troop Falsiam, I welcome you. My troopmates are seeing to the final preparations even as we speak. Don't wander too far. The curtain will be rising any minute now. It's been quite some time since we brought our art to these shores, or so our fearless leader tells us. I've been practicing day and night ever since we arrived to bring you and your countrymen the performance of a lifetime. Ugh. So close, and yet so far. For all who cannot make the voyage to our home, we bring our art to yours. Hailing from rods at Han across the sea, I present the incomparable, transcendent Troop Falseum. Today, we have prepared a sumptuous feast for your eyes and ears. Let the soaring melodies and the stirring, striking steps of our dancers reach your heart and spirit you away to a distant world. Yes, just so, Rana. Betray not your trembling heart. Dance your dance to the last, and let them fall under your spell. My apologies. I did not mean to intrude upon your experience. Pray ignore my mutterings and enjoy the girl's performance. She has trained quite hard for this day, after all. I must say, you carry yourself with a certain grace, don't you? Ah, but do excuse me. I forget myself. I just had an idea. A thought. With the upcoming patch, with the glamour, the more in-depth glamour editors where we can hide certain parts of said glamours, I wonder if I could hide the cloak and use that as dancer glamour. I don't know. I'll have to workshop it. This may seem a bit forward, but pray tell, have you ever harbored aspirations of stepping on a stage? Of losing yourself in a whirlwind of music and motion, and enchanting your audience with your every movement? Forgive me. I know this is all quite sudden, and yet I could not help myself. From the first moment I laid eyes on you, I saw, how can I put it, a poise that could only be honed on the field of battle. Yes, there's no doubt in my mind. You would make a fine dancer. I see you are confused, and for good reason. Allow me to explain. There are forms of dance meant merely to grace a stage, and then there's the art of troupe falsam. We dance the Kriegsdance, a dance of war so ancient it is said to predate even the founding of our city. Our dancers train primarily in two techniques, each with applications both ornamental and martial. For one, we are proficient in tossing throwing weapons which are most dazzling to the eyes, and even more damaging to any unfortunate foes they strike. The second is, of course, dancing itself. Perhaps you've already felt it, but it's believed there are mystical powers to our movements, which can serve to heighten senses, lift spirits, and drive weakness and worry from people's hearts. The people of Eorzea have done well to rebuild this realm in the calamity's wake. Yet there are scars that still go unhealed, and the specter of war still looms large over the land. Give me a second, actually. Our art of dance might serve in some small way to ease worries and fears, and offer succor to the hearts of Eorzeans far and wide. Nothing would bring our humble troop greater... Hold on. Nothing would bring our humble troop greater honor, and so did I decide to lead Troop Falciam on a tour of this realm. There is, however, a bit of a rub. They've come with only 2 dancers, Rana and myself, and I am still nursing an injury I suffered on the voyage over. My protege is a talented one, but I can hardly ask her to bear the burden of tour alone, and so I felt compelled to reach out to you. I can assure you that the arrangement would be to our mutual benefit. Should you offer us your aid, I will personally instruct you in the art of Creek stunts, an art that will avail you not only on the stage, but on the field of battle as well. Worry not, I will not force you to rush your decision. We must begin rehearsal for our next performance. Do give some thought to my offer, and seek me out again should you be so inclined. Okay, I'm gonna... hold on. G. Hello? Spacebar? Um... Clearly, I don't add people very often. Oh, play. No, that's the same thing. But do... You try. I said, I am doing something wrong. Uh, I will add you later. So I want to get this done. You return, friend. Taken the time to think over my offer? Splendid. To tell the truth, I had feared your answer would be no. But fortune smiles upon Troupe Falcion today. As principal dancer and company leader, allow me to officially welcome you to our ranks. Wait, don't tell me. Nashmira has handpicked you to join our troupe and become a dancer. Is Rena right? Or is Rena right? I knew it. I haven't been doing this for as long as Mistress Nashmira, but even I can see that your poise and posture is anything but ordinary. But don't get your hopes up too high. You're gonna have to work your arse off to outshine Rana Migo. Let it suffice to say, I will be watching both of your careers with great interest. Oh, but where are my manners? I haven't even asked my student her name. An elegant name, indeed. Very well then, Yuna. This is for you. This crystal houses the amassed knowledge and memories of generations of our forebears. Butterflies of the battlefield who have fluttered their way into history and legend. Take it and treasure it. And, of course, you'll also be needing a change of clothes. Here, this outfit should do. Go ahead, put it on. You'll be amazed at the freedom of movement the pliant fabric affords you. Do, do, do. Where is it? Um... Standard step, it changes the appearance of step. Should cause start dancing. Following the displayed icons to execute steps in the correct order and ending with standard finish. Okay. Remaining duration of these effects is displayed beneath the step gauge. Actions such as reverse cascade and rising windmill. Fourfold feathers. Interesting. Okay, I don't think I will do... Oh, holy shit, look at that guild count. I've never seen it so even. 130k flat. God damn. Okay. I'm gonna call stream. I'm not gonna fully log off though, because I want to get you added as a friend, and also I want to fuss with a glam or dancer. I've been told good things about this job, and I think it's quite fun, so... Or, it looks quite fun, so... So yeah, we're gonna be calling it quits there. I will do the dancer job quest at a later date. Not on stream though, because I want to get cracking with the MSQ. Yeah, thank you for watching. We'll be back tomorrow, roughly same time. I don't know quite exactly when, but roughly 12:30 thereabouts. 12:30 p.m. Central Time. I should clarify. Yeah, that's it for me.